I just always felt that the system was, for a better word, was broke. We weren't doing what we needed to do. We were wasting a lot of time talking about procedures. Whether water's, can we have water in the classroom? What about headphones? What about cell phones? That was the biggest challenge of getting past the aspect of what was important, what's not important.
Central taught the 4 core areas well. They had a wonderful fine arts program. They had an outstanding athletic program. What was once a typical high school, all of a sudden, we've become a community of learners.
Central High School in Bay City, Michigan used to have many of the problems faced by inner city high schools, but not these days. Great Expectations coach Keita Aspel is delivering some incredible news to Central High administrators.
Well, so I finished my observations.
Come on.
You are a progressive school. Yay!
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Oh, thank God.
There are 3 levels of GE certification. Bay City just achieved the 2nd level, one step away from GE's highest distinction, Model School.
Very excited. This is what we've been waiting for.
It is a question principals and educators across the country are asking. How do we make our schools better? How do our schools become more than just classrooms and hallways? The administrators at Central may have found the answer, and it all started with a brochure.
When I first became aware of Great Expectations, it was just I'd picked up a brochure off the counter at our intermediate school district office.
We set a date in April of 2009 to come and do a one-day training.
So I grabbed 5 or 6 teachers from Central High School who I thought might be interested in this. And we went to the one-day orientation.
We had no idea how many people would come. We had no idea what kind of interest there would be. And, as they say, the rest is kind of history.
When Dr. Don Clark and Tim Marciniak discovered Great Expectations, it reminded them why they had such a passion for education. Could GE be the spark that lights a fire for learning in the classrooms at Central?
The people that had provided the research that supported Great Expectations were taking me back to my undergraduate days back in the early 70s, and I was reading these names and I was thinking, this is everything that I've always practiced and tried to teach and implement throughout my career.
I was very curious because I've been at that time I was in education almost 20 years, and I know Dr. Clark was a little bit longer, and we've seen a lot of things that come down the path. And this one was very intriguing to him of the, again, not reinventing the wheel, but just the best practices that were out there, the 17 practices. And he thought that this is something that we really needed for Central to change our culture of what we were doing in the building.
4 cards will have nouns.
Soon the teachers gained a passion for Great Expectations as well, implementing a culture of respect in their classrooms and promoting academic excellence. In time, some crazy, wonderful things started happening.
Independent nation. We believe.
Each day we do a creed. In some classes it's once a week, and in some classes it's every day. We create our own creed that is tailored specifically to our classroom that represents us, and it is to get us pumped up and prepared to learn for that day.
1, 2, 3.
We are esteemed colleagues.
Students begin standing on their desks, reciting a common vision for their class.
I borrowed an idea from another teacher. She calls standing on the desks or the seat the position of power. It makes the students believe it and internalize it, and my students have bought in and they do the same thing.
A person who never made a mistake, never tried anything.
They started speaking in complete sentences.
When we answer questions, we stand up and we address the class, Ms. Beeson in class, or if we have a guest, we'll address the guest as well, and then we speak in complete sentences.
And greeting visitors when they came in the classroom.
This here is our student. How may I help you?
And students started celebrating each other's success and encouraging others through mistakes.
As a student, I think celebrating each other is probably the most impactful practice that we have in our class, just because I like even if I stand up and my answer's not that good or something, we always still practice celebrating each other and having the confidence to stand up.
Each student has a celebration. I have a celebration named after myself. It's kind of like a slow clap. I really get into that.
It wasn't long before Central High School became a place of shared learning. Teachers helping students helping students, all within an environment of limited distractions.
I don't stop to answer the door anymore. I don't have to go over and answer the phone anymore. So those little things free up a lot of my time. You don't realize how much time it takes or how much it gets you off track if you're having to do those things.
The class just seems to run so much more smoothly now. They follow procedures much more easily, much more quickly. Since they know the procedures so well, it makes actually teaching the content so much easier, and it really builds a really nice classroom environment.
We really value the life principles, and as we're all on the same page, we teach life principles. We encourage initiative in our students. We encourage handshakes. We encourage them taking the initiative to speak first and use complete sentences when greeting guests and other people. I think that the shift in the building has been phenomenal.
I've never seen people more excited, but we had a lot of veteran teachers that felt like they were reborn, and they were excited about teaching again because they were in a rut and they needed something to spark them.
Which brings us back to the joy of that announcement.
Staff and students, we would like to thank you for all of your hard work and dedication. We'd also like to announce that Keita's been here for the last couple days, and Central High School is now a progressive school in regards to Great Expectations. We are the champions. We are the champions.
You might be tempted to think the story ends here, but it doesn't. In a way, the hard work at Central is only just beginning.
Through GE, I hope that students will get that passion to continue their education, that they'll see the impact that participating in their education will do for them. Because in a lot of schools that I've taught in, students are usually bystanders in their own education.
We need to make sure that it's never taken for granted, that this is always something that we have to fight to maintain, because there are always going to be people who want to close their doors and just go back to the old way.
We will become a model school, I can promise you that.
That hard work at Central has lit a fire in school districts across northern Michigan. Elementary schools in nearby districts like Agre-Sims and Pinconning are impacting classrooms in every grade level.
And it's nice to have students come from one classroom that had a GE teacher into my classroom the next year, and then the light up when maybe we do the same celebration that they had last year. Oh yeah, we did this last year. We know what this is like. It's fun.
Other district teachers see GE impacting students' manners and helping create good citizens.
We have families that come from lots of different backgrounds, and what happens outside is very different what is happening in our classroom. So we are trying to teach those kids those expectations in the school and in the classroom to share that caring feeling, to take care of each other.
Along with a change in culture, Central is focused on continuing to improve academic standards. Through a partnership with Harvard professor Dr. Ronald Ferguson, GE is developing a case study on increased academic rigor using Central classrooms.
What we're looking to see is teachers who are helping their students think, to understand what it means, what it looks like when you think your way through a question or a problem. It's about asking questions that don't have immediate, obvious answers.
How does a school system turn itself around? How do they make education exciting again? The principals, teachers, and students at Central High School believe they have found the answer. It could be the answer for schools across the country.
To another high school principal, I'm telling you, you have to do it. You have to try this. Again, like I said, I've been an administrator for 16 years. I've been at all 3 levels, and this is the one thing that we have found that works consistently with the staff and the students.
What it does for teachers is it just reminds them, about why they became teachers to begin with. It takes them back through what good teaching is.